Welcome back to this program of Lax Purana, and in this continuation of this series, we were discussing about Indian society, and today we will discuss about a topic called secularism. Now here we have to see is that this secularism as a topic is also present in GS2, it is also present in GS1. Now one caution of note before I enter this particular topic is that you need to clearly demarcate what you are supposed to write when secularism is asked in GS1, when secularism is asked in GS2. Because when you look at 2019, the same year they had asked a question on secularism with respect to GS1. Also they had asked a question on secularism vis-a-vis the French impact on the French secularism in GS2 also. Now in that context, what generally happens, or what is the common observation that I have seen among the students, is that they orient the answer that they are writing in GS1 in the context of GS2. They try to bring in the polity aspects. No doubt you have to bring in the polity aspect, but we have to look at the societal dimension with respect to this particular topic. Please keep this caution of note in mind. Because what happens is you will not be rewarded, you will not be given marks if you are writing a GS2 dimension of secularism in GS1. Because what happens, context of the answer, contextualization is a key factor when you're supposed to discuss with respect to the answer writing. Right? Now let's see that what all dimensions we need to include as part of our notes. Now when you look at the secularism as a phenomena, the simplest thing that you have to keep is what is the understanding. What is the understanding of this phenomena of secularism? Now once you see this, what is the understanding of this phenomena of secularism, then we have to see that what are the forms of secularism, and we know that broadly the UPSC itself has indicated that there are two different forms. One is what is the Indian form, the other one is what is the Western form of secularism. And you know that the Indian form of secularism is considered as positive, whereas the Western form is considered as negative because it is demanding a clear demarcation. And once you understand these forms of secularism, then we have to see that what are the factors that are promoting secularism and that are hindering secularism. This is a very, very important aspect, because the analytical dimension of secularism lies in this, that what are the promoting factors and what are the hindering factors vis-a-vis the secularism as a phenomena. And here you can add one thing, that what are the constitutional dimensions that are present with respect to this particular phenomena of secularism, so that you can use this crisscrossly, because constitution is always a secular document and you can use it even the social dimension also. You can use it in GS1, you can use it in GS2. But do not overdo it when we are doing it in GS1. Please understand, please keep that in mind. Right? So once you make these aspects of secularism, I think very, very limited aspects that they have gone for questioning in secularism. What are the challenges to our cultural practice in the name of secularism? That is an analytical question that was seen. Because what happens is it demands a delicate understanding, it demands a delicate way of expression when you are writing such a question. Challenges to our cultural practice in the name of secularism, we have to be very, very careful when we are expressing. Because what happens is, it can so happen that you might portray the societal biasness that you have towards a concept of secularism, towards the concept of religious diversity. We have to be very, very careful. And once you see the other questions, these two are more or less very, very similar, where they are asking that Indian concept vis-a-vis the Western model. They are asking what is the difference. Now in such a question, if this was asked in GS2, it is a very, very easy way of handling it. But when it is asked in GS1, we have to be bringing in certain societal element. We have to bring in certain societal dimension. Right? So let's discuss one question, is that how is the Indian concept of secularism different from Western model of secularism? It's a basic question. It is fundamentally asking that how is your Indian secularism different from the Western secularism? Now we will define secularism. We will define secularism saying that it is going to be a definite relation that is existing between the state and religion, that might be clearly demarcated, that might be clearly partitioned. A watertight compartment might exist or might be an equidistant position. Now once you have that equidistant position, or whatever be the nature of the relation that is existing, you see that Indian secularism is what? It is talking about non-complete separation. It is not complete separation. It is talking about intervention of state as and when needed. It is also talking about individuals as well as community rights. And it is also talking about upholds the cultural as well as the educational rights. So that means it is showing the comprehensive nature of the Indian secularism. And once we show the comprehensive nature of Indian secularism, the immediate thing that we have to show is that how is it different from the Western model. That means we have to show that the Western model of secularism is a negative concept. And we have to show that it is different from the Indian secularism, which is a positive concept, right? There is a complete separation that is existing. There is total non-interference. There is also a negative relation that is existing. And as I indicated that you know that secularism as a question is being asked in GS1, so we have to bring in societal element. How will we do that? Now here we do that with an interplay of keywords. With an interplay of keywords, we have to be very, very careful. And see this, that Indian secularism is a broader concept. Is a broader concept in what? In protecting the societal fabric of India. That is what we are showing. We are showing that it protects right, it promotes religious harmony, it normalizes the conflict, it upholds the constitutional morality. That means we are fundamentally showing the importance of secularism in the context of Indian society. How is it going to bind? How is it going to act as a gluing mechanism when you talk about the Indian society? Because you know that wherever there is diversity, there is divisive nature that is present. Your religious diversity will lead to divisive forces like the communalism. And an antidote towards the communalism can be an understanding on the secularism. A broader understanding on secularism can hold the Indian society tight. That is what we are going to show towards the end of the answer. Such a simple question, right? And let's have a practice question here. And when you look at the practice question with respect to secularism, if you want to try an analytical concept, try this. What are the challenges to our cultural practices in the name of secularism? Try implementing and try maintaining the delicate balance, because this demands a delicate way of expression on the understanding of secularism. Try writing this. Thank you.